at Kell Brook in there. He fighting Carson Jones. He getting his ass beat. This is the 7th round. Look at that shit. Kell Brook, stay running. Why you running from a bum? Why you running from a bum, Kell? This Carson Jones. This ain't nobody. This Carson Jones, he got 8 losses. Why you running, Kell? You can't fight on the inside? What's wrong? Why you running? Oh, okay. You rallying back a little bit. Look at that. Look at Kell Brook. Look at him. He rallying back. Look at that shit. He holding. No, that's what he known for, holding motherfuckers, right? Look at that shit. There you go. There you go, Kell. Right in the middle of the ring. That's where you want to fight, right? Take it to the... Oh, shit, you falling over? You falling over, Kell Brook? What's wrong? Look at you disoriented and shit. You got your ass beat by a bum. Look at you scared, breathing hard as fuck. What's wrong, Kell? Why you getting your ass beat by a bum, Kell? Welcome to Hitman Boxing. So, Kell Brook, 21 days away from his fight with Errol Spence. As far as his weight is concerned, he's looking good. He's at 153 pounds. So now we can throw away the idea that he was going to have trouble making weight, or that he would use the weight as an excuse if he were to lose to Errol Spence on May 27th. So his camp, it looks like he's doing well in camp. Haven't heard much from his camp. So really a closed door policy as far as their camp's concerned. Not too many interviews with the media, a few statements here and there, but Kell Brook is very focused. And that's good because he's going to need to be focused against Errol Spence. Now, I'm hoping this fight is a classic. I hope this is a classic fight from both these dudes. Because Kell Brook, a lot of people have been talking shit about Kell Brook. I've talked a lot of shit about Kell Brook. And before this video's over, I'm going to talk some shit about Kell Brook. But to see him training as hard as he is and preparing for this fight, I'm happy. Because we want the best Kell Brook possible on May 27th. Now, Errol Spence, I'm not sure where his weight is right now. Like Kell Brook, I mean, they seem to be pretty big. If they don't have a fight announced or, 3 months removed from a fight, they seem to be pretty big, So, I mean, I'm sure Errol Spence is going to make weight, no problem, like he always does. He tends to squeeze into that 147-pound division. Of course, he might be more comfortable at 154, but I mean that's some talk for another time. Let's clear out the welterweight division first. So Errol Spence is going to be going to the UK, probably next week, right? That'll be 2 weeks out for the fight. So he's got to get accustomed to the time change, the air, everything, man. I know you might laugh and shit, but it's different going overseas, man, and trying to acclimate to things, and you've got a training schedule that you have to adhere to. But if he's not ready mentally, man, that's going to be a problem. But I want to say that his team is doing the right thing, and as far as Errol Spence is concerned, I'd say he's hungry as fuck right now. And he's not looking for chocolate brownies. That's one thing he's not looking for. He's looking for your boy Ezekiel. Now, Kell Brook, man, he's a great fighter. So let's be honest, he's a great fighter. The issue I have with Kell Brook is the fact that he's really only got one good fighter on his resume that he's beaten, and that's Shawn Porter. He lost to Triple G, but the rest of his opposition, man, like you can't even, if you're a Kell Brook fan, you can't front. You cannot front and tell me that he's been fighting top competition throughout his career. I mean, who does for like the first 15, 20 fights, right? But I mean, come on. After Shawn Porter, it's been nothing but light touches. And yeah, he's been trying to get a bigger fight. Pacquiao. I haven't really heard him call out Thurman too much. Danny Garcia, he's called out some big names. But, he's also had chances to fight, decent fighters. Diego Chavez, I don't even know what happened to him. But that would have been a good fight between Diego Chavez and Kell Brook. I would have gave him props for that. Diego Chavez beat the fuck out of Keith Thurman. Diego Chavez would have been a good measuring stick for Kell Brook. Timothy Bradley. You know, we got this whole thing with Amir Khan. I mean, you can't tell me that it's all these other people's fault that you're not getting these fights with these big names. I mean, something must be wrong on your end too, because it's way too many names we could throw out there right now that you haven't fought, that you could have fought. Like I said a long time ago, he didn't want to fight Jesse Vargas. Well, y'all like, oh, well, who's Jesse Vargas? What money does he bring to the table? Look, you got to be strategic with this, man. Jesse Vargas had the WBO championship, right? So, Kell Brook fights. He fights him, Jesse Vargas, and more than likely he beats Jesse Vargas, and he's got the WBO belt. What belt does Pacquiao always fight for? The WBO belt. Like, you would have had 2 belts. People can't duck you when you start accumulating belts like that. Right? Don't tell me, you can't tell me I'm wrong about that shit. He could have had the WBO and the IBF strap, right? And realistically, what, Thurman got the WBC, WBA? I mean that could have happened sooner rather than later, right? But whatever. Let's get back into this shit. Now, what's the other critique when it comes to Errol Spence? He hasn't fought anybody, right? Exactly. They both in the same boat when it comes to opposition, except Kell Brook has, you know, Sean Porter and a loss to Triple G. You know, Errol Spence's toughest competition was Chris Algieri, a dude that got beat up by Manny Pacquiao and Leonard Bundu, an old man from Australia somewhere, some shit like that. But he stopped both of those guys, right? Keith Thurman didn't stop Bundu. Manny Pacquiao didn't stop Chris Algieri despite knocking him down 7 times. So, he got to take what he can get, man. So, he's been doing this thing with the Eliminator. You know, he's been going through this IBF Eliminator status for like a little over a year now. There's been names out there. Lamont Peterson, he didn't want to fight. Who else? I know there was some other dudes on that list. Long story short, how many people did they have to get through just to get to Leonard Bundu? It was at least 5 or 6 fighters that didn't want to fight Spence. So he can only put who they put in front of him. Kell Brooks had the luxury of actually negotiating with these other fighters. And sometimes you gotta make a sacrifice for your career, right? Sometimes you gotta take less money for the overall bigger picture to put yourself in a position to fight the fights that you want to fight. Sometimes you gotta take less money. Nobody knows who you are, Kell Brook. Nobody knows who you are outside of your country. Nobody. And you fought outside your country 1 time. This is all facts. I'm spitting facts right now. So yeah, Errol Spence, Kell Brook don't have the best opposition. That's facts. Another fact, Kell Brook has beaten a tougher fighter than Errol Spence has ever beaten in Sean Porter. Right? Right. So we can all agree on that. Happy we could agree on something. But don't act like Kell Brook didn't seem scared to take this fight. He was ducking this fight for the longest time. But he had no choice but to make this fight. He either had to make this fight or he was going to get stripped. That's what the president of the IBF said. So, of course, he took the fight. Errol Spence is bigger than this dude. He's stronger, younger. But Kell Brook got his Kell Brook's style of boxing. I like his style of boxing. I love the straight right hand. I love the jab. Love that shit. But I also like seeing motherfuckers get knocked out. And that's where Errol Spence comes in. He's going to go to the body. He's going to the body for sure on Kell Brook. He's going to get winded, gassed. Just like in that first round against Triple G when he got hit. He got hit in the liver. He wants to go down, but he didn't know. Kell Brook's going to go down. He will have to take a knee. He's going to go down in this fight. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. I'm hoping for a knockout. And it's fucked up that there has to be a knockout in this fight for Errol Spence to win. Even if he outboxes Kell Brook, what the judge is going to do? Oh, Kell Brook Unanimous decision. And the scorecard's going to be close. He's going into this fight down. He's going into this fight down, what, a round or two? So he's got to recoup. He's got to stop Kell Brook. And then when he does, what are y'all going to say, man? What's next for Kell Brook? After Kell Brook gets his ass beat, what's after that? You going to move up to 154? That's not a good move because he's going to get his ass beat up there too. 160? No. Kell Brook gets his ass beat at 162. So I don't know what's going to be next for Kell Brook. That's what I want to know. After he get his ass whooped by Spence and this man down, I want to know what the fuck Kell Brook going to do with his career. Like I said, maybe probably going to open up a bakery or some shit. A bar, a gay bar or something. I don't know. I ain't going to get into that, man. I ain't going to get into Kell Brook's personal life, man. Oh, yeah, and by the way, happy belated birthday to Kell Brook. His birthday was last week. I bet he was eating hella fudge, too. Fuck out of here. Hitman Boxing, all this shit I've been saying is facts. It's all facts, man. Y'all got to come to terms with it. As a Kell Brook fan, you got to come to terms with his level of opposition, his unwillingness to want to make this fight with Spence, taking the easy road and selling his ode to Triple G. I mean, it's a lot of shit, like, that you can't deny, that you can pretend isn't real. But on May 27th, when he gets knocked the fuck out, it ain't going to be no Mandela effect. That shit going to be real. Hitman Boxing, I'm out.